Thank you. Thanks. Okay, so now we come to the responsive design features. First of all, you have new variables, container and visu size. And these variables you can use to move elements on the screen. Here, as an example, a lot of elements have the absolute movement. And with this expression, you can say that the element stays on the right side of the visualization. I show you later. The container size is the client size of each main page. So you can react on the client size. What do you have for possibilities? First of all, you can align items and you can fill areas. As you can see in our demo project, when I increase the client size, then you can see the logo and the title is aligned on the right side, and the trend itself fills the new available area and draws more content than before. So we provide a lot of elements that can fill the necessary area. These elements are, for example, an XY chart or an alarm table and so on. The next functionality, or here now we can see the configuration in the trend element. Here we can use the relative movement bottom right edge, also with the container and visu variables for width and height, that the trend element fills the complete content. Another possibility is to wrap content. As you can see here, we have a scroll bar, and in the bottom there are tiles. And when the visualization size is increased, we can position the object to the left so that everything can be seen. And so it's very easy to build responsive visualization pages for different client types. The next topic is swiping frames. With the version Visualization 4.4, we introduced this feature. The pages in a frame can be swiped. For that, multi-touch must be enabled. Currently, this feature is only available for the web visualization, and it is easy to configure. This is the configuration of a frame element. And as you can see here, we have additional properties now for the swiping behavior. So you can swipe in horizontal position or in vertical position. The swiping preview shows the new content during swiping. And this I want to show you in a live presentation. For that, I start a video. Here you can see now our demo project, and on a multi-touch device, you can swipe between the pages in the current project. Here you can see another feature where I opened a dialog, and here is an overlay feature where you can fly in some content. So you can navigate in the project by swiping, or you click directly on the menu. So now we come to the next topic, the client-specific localization. For that, each visualization client can have its own language. With the new version, the visualization client starts with the browser language, and the browser language codes, DE or EN, must exist in the text lists. If the language does not exist, the default language is used for that client. So the language switching only takes place in the current client, and each client can have now its own language. That's new. Other improvements we did for the alarm management. One new feature is that you can create alarm definitions for types. What does it mean? You can specify alarms for a specific type, for a function block or a structure. This can be also part of a library. And we created a new object alarm group template. Here you see the configuration of such an alarm group template. It's similar to an alarm group, but here are additional configurations. Here you have to choose the function block or structure type for which you want to specify alarms. The inst is the name to access the member variables of this function block. Here, as example, I defined a digital alarm. The alarm goes into the active state when the variable xAlarm goes to true. Here you can also use alarm classes. Alarm classes can also now be positioned in a library. And now we have defined an alarm for a specific type. And what is the benefit? The benefit is that alarms from instances of types can be added to the alarm configuration with only one call, create or update alarm instances. This reduces the configuration effort. Optionally, the instances can be configured to be part of a specific alarm group. I show you another configuration editor. It's from the alarm configuration. And here, I want to explain how it works. In the application, you have a lot of instances of function blocks and structures. And if the instance has an alarm group template, the alarms for this instance are automatically added to the alarm configuration. Here you see all function blocks and structures which have an alarm group template. You can assign to which alarm group they should be part of, and if this instance should be created. The default is that it is activated. And when you update your application, you create new instances. For example, you have to press create or update alarm instances again, and then the new instances are automatically added. This helps a lot to add the alarms what you need for your application. Now we come to new features which come with the version 4.7. We extend the online change functionality, so we allow online changes in the most common use cases. For example, add, remove, modify alarms in an alarm group, but also add, remove, modify alarm instances in the alarm configuration. So for example, you extended your application, you updated your alarm instances, and then an online change is also possible. For the alarm group templates, we extended the functionality that you can also use types that come from another library. For example, you have an I/O library, and when the function block of the I/O library has an error member, then you can specify an alarm when the error is not okay, or when an error happened. So it is possible to specify alarms for types which come from another library or what you do not have developed on your own. The next extension is that you can also call alarm events from the instance of a function block. In an alarm group template, we also provide the observation type event. An event must always be called from the application. And with this call, raise event alarm instance, you can call this from your function block, what you developed. And this gives you the possibility to call alarms directly from your function block. The timestamp is set when the event is raised, and therefore you have also a possibility to raise events from your function block. That's new. Then we come to the improvements of the XY chart and the trend element. In the XY chart, we support now also time data types. That means time-dependent data can now be displayed in an XY chart. For that, you can use arrays of the following types: time, L-time, date, L-date, time of day, date and time, and also the L types. Format strings can be specified. That means how to display this time in the XY chart. Here we have day, month, year, hours, minutes, seconds. And for example, when it's only a time, then you can use this format string. And here you can now see that in the XY chart, you can show values depending on the time. The next improvement is for the trend element. We now provide a way that a dynamic recording interval is possible. Use cases are, it should be possible to adjust the speed of the trend recording at runtime. A new configuration option is provided in the trend, the measurement slowdown factor. It can slow down the recording by a factor. Here you can use a variable of your application. And as you can see here, more values are recorded than here. So only these values then appear in the database. And you can also fasten it up. when you first start with a slowdown factor by 10 and then reduce it to 5 or to 0. The last improvement, what I want to show you, is the visualization scripting step 1. What does it mean? You can create visualizations via CODESYS Python scripting. So visualizations can be created, elements can be added, removed, or modified in a visualization, properties can be set, different element types can be created, frame parameters can be set. With this functionality, you can create complete visualizations, or you can modify a template project by scripting. I want to show you some example code. First of all, I get the primary project. Then I find the application of the project. In the application, I create a visualization object with name VisuDemo. From the VisuDemo object, I can get the visual element list. And to the element list, I can add a new element of type rectangle. And then I set the position for that rectangle. So in the first step, we want to provide a way that elements can be created, properties can be set, input actions can be assigned, and also frames can be inserted, which refer to a specific visualization. And with this functionality, for example, you can create a complete navigation menu automatically with a Python script. Okay, so do we have some questions about this new functionalities or regarding some topics of the visualization itself?
Yeah, there was one question from Tom. How do you debug Python scripts?
It's not so easy. So we use Visual Studio to debug Python scripts. So, but it encodes this directly. I do not know possibility.
Maybe a comment from my side.
Yes.
Maybe, yeah. In fact, what you see is a Python script, so the result can directly be, let's say, debugged or seen inside the CODESYS development system. So it's not an, let's say, a real-time execution of some code, but it's how the tool is automated by the script. So yeah, debugging would be, of course, nice to have, but anyway, if you run the script and execute the script, you will see the results. Running it several times will offer you the possibility to easily see what was going wrong or so. Of course, this is not a real debugging, but nevertheless, there is a, let's say, visual output that you can directly see within the CODESYS tool itself.
Okay. Are there any other questions? Otherwise, I want to show you also additional functionality, which I not mentioned in my presentation, but what I want to show you in the example demo project. So here you can see, for example, we introduced also a property blinking on several elements. So an image can blink with the blinking is executed completely in the client without increasing the CPU load. And here, what we have seen in the video before, you can move dialogues. That's also new. and the dialog position is stored in the client. Here you see some overlay features to fly in a content or a menu. And in the trend page, for example, I can show you the responsive design functionality. Or also on this page, when I increase it, new content is shown. Otherwise, you must scroll the content. So that's all from my side. Thank you for your attention.